Are we starting? The music stopped.
That means we have to go.
I thought someone was going to run out and jump and shoot a gun and say, go!
Let's let the debate begin.
All right.
So, GameCube versus PS2. Who are we to say and find the definitive answer to which is superior?
Well, I'm Arlo.
And I'm
That's who I
Lockstin.
am. Thank you. Thank you. Industry leaders on this topic. Very knowledgeable.
I am a YouTuber that talks about Pokemon primarily, just doing lore dives and such, which might sound like I'm a bit biased towards Nintendo, but trust me, the PS2 is far superior.
I am biased toward Nintendo. The end. GameCube wins. Spoiler alert.
So, the way we're going to do this is there's going to be a lot of audience participation. As in, at any point throughout this, you can raise your hand and one of us will point to you and you can just add a point and it's just going to be fun.
At first, we're going to go around names. Every person. Just
everyone. But first, I'm curious, show of hands, before we get into any points on either side, how many of you think GameCube the best?
Oh, not bad. Oh, yeah. All right.
Now, how about PS2?
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's
not
close.
bad. Yeah, it's pretty
close.
right. Yeah.
I think that's going to change after we get the points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think so? We're gonna change people's minds today.
Hopefully, I get everyone on my side.
Also, I hope someone was passing out weapons. Non-lethals. Just. This is a fight. Where there's a fight at the second half, right? Like a battle.
I wasn't made aware of this.
Like a full battle? No?
I don't have a life insurance policy yet.
All right. You know, I guess it wasn't in the budget.
At any point, feel free to raise your hand, and then we'll pick you. However, because we know a lot of the points are just going to be, yeah, but does it have double dash?
Those are all my points. It's just, yeah, but... Pick one.
Oh. You have me there.
I know.
So we're going to save the games for the end.
Yeah, let's talk hardware first.
Yeah, we're going to talk hardware exclusively first. So, obviously, if you look at the GameCube's graphics and the PS2's graphics, it's usually pretty easy to see which is superior, that being the GameCube. Obviously, because it came out a year later, it has more time. But my point for the PS2 is that if graphics mattered, then the Xbox would win, and who wants that?
Nobody. Who here wants Xbox to win? Get out of here. Get out of here.
He shakes his head no.
It's true, graphics are not everything, unless it would make me win. So in this case, graphics are everything.
And what many may not know is that the reason the GameCube's graphics are so good is because it was easier to program for. The PS2 has two separate CPUs or GPUs, one of them being exclusively for polygons, which a lot of developers didn't know how to do very well until way later in its development, which is why we have games that still look incredible on PS2. But what a lot of people will notice is PS2 games that were exclusive to the system look incredible compared to multi-platforms.
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus. Like, where did that come from?
Right, Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet actually has fur in the later ones.
Wow.
And that's just because people know how to program for it. But what gets really interesting, and a point I'm making for the PS2, is that there are multi-plat games that look better on the PS2, and I will stand by that even if they're mostly licensed titles that no one cares about.
There are specific examples, even if they're obscure.
Basically, every game that was rushed in development. So
looks better on the...
So the ones that, like Need for Speed and Madagascar.
What about you? You had
Stuart Little 2.
You had a point about Resident Evil 4.
I did have a point about Resident Evil 4.
Which was like the more like subjective measure.
But about the rush development ones is, well, it's rush development. They're going to program it for the weakest of the systems. So that's the definitive version. And then they have to go and port it to other things. And that's also, the GameCube controller is missing a button. If you're playing a multi-platform game on the GameCube, you're not getting the full experience because you're missing
L1. That button. Yeah.
Games have to be dumbed down.
Dramatically.
What do you have to say to that?
Chopped into nothing because of that one button. I don't know. I got nothing. Most games didn't even use the Z, the weird little. I don't know. I guess we were still getting used to that kind of controller layout. So like people weren't even quite utilizing it that much. So that's my point.
It wasn't quite utilized at the time.
Yeah. Like even Z was just like bring up menus, you know? I don't know.
But at least the second analog stick wasn't garbage.
Ooh. You have a good point. That C stick was not very good. And of course, as you were saying, most shooters were better on the PlayStation.
If your game is a shooter or video, oh, you have a point.
I got a point about those games. Those games sucked.
Good point, Brian.
Ooh, yeah.
Technically, GameCube started, you know how with like Crystal Chronicle and that stuff, you could hook your Game Boy up to it? That technically started the whole PS Vita being able to use for cross-play with PS4 games.
That was
Yeah.
I don't think PlayStation has anything like that. Do it.
GameCube as a handle.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Good. Very good. We're getting into the petty stuff now. We're getting petty now. The GameCube wasn't the first system to tell you to stand it up for no reason.
You did stand your PS2 up, the little logo could switch.
I was really impressed by that. I had a PlayStation 2, by the way. That's pretty great. Sorry.
There's multiple versions of a PS2. There's one where you can just top load, put a disc in, one where the drawer comes out. There was only one GameCube because that's all they needed.
Very good. This is good. Yeah. That's it. Oh, we're really getting rolling now.
Not just affection.
We're getting rolling. How about over there?
I have a point about the other version of the PS2. It also damaged the discs.
Ooh. Oh boy. Ooh.
At least
What
it
do you
had
have to
discs.
say about that?
At least it had real discs.
Very good point in favor of PlayStation 2.
Why did the GameCube even have tiny discs like that?
Because Nintendo was so worried about piracy that they wanted weird discs, and it wasn't a big problem, and it made it so that people could barely put any game, like, how much could they hold? Like nothing? And nobody wanted to have multiple discs.
There's a reason so many more JRPGs are on the PS2. It's because
Yeah.
they could actually fit.
That thing where they want to help themselves and they end up just hurting themselves way more.
Anti-piracy, more like anti-piracy.
That's good. He said that. That's good. That's a good one.
Point on the GameCube, it had the first official made by first party wireless controller.
Forgot about that.
That's good. That's a good point.
That started the wireless trend.
Yeah, Nintendo was ahead of the game. Was it good? No. My friend had an N64 one. It literally, you just buy it, take it home. It just doesn't work. It's a product that doesn't work. Yeah.
They still work today.
Which ones?
I had 6 Wavebirds.
Yeah, Wavebirds. Yeah.
It's the one on the far left.
Well, the PS2 could only play PS2 and PS1 games. The GameCube had the Game Boy player, which could play Game Boy Advance,
I never
Game
had that.
Color, Game Boy games. It was like 4 consoles in one.
Yeah, it was pretty
That's a good
cool.
point. That's a good point. I never had that. I wish I did. I never got the Game Boy player.
The discs are really expensive now to run it.
Yeah?
But I've seen a bunch of them here. They're super interested in that. Way in the back left.
If the Wii can play GameCube games, why should I get GameCube?
Here's a whole other part of the thing. I'm almost surprised I didn't open with this. I feel like it's two different discussions, and I don't even know which one this is. Of like,
Are we talking in retrospective currently, or are we talking at the time?
there's like hardware functionality versus library. Because if you're talking hardware functionality, DVD player.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's the reason the PS2 sold so much better. I believe Sony actually had most of the patents for DVDs, which is why when the PS2 came out, it was a quarter of the price of DVD players, because Sony owned DVDs.
Same thing with PS3 and
And
Blu-ray.
so now because it's a $300 DVD player that's also a console compared to $700 DVD player, of course it's going to sell 150 million units. here's a point for me. For every GameCube, there's a little over 6 PS2s.
GameCube did not sell. I don't even know this. It did not. No, so I feel like, I don't know, the whole, like, just like the functionality at the time, like if you get more use out of it, and like just which one had the games. I don't know. Of course, though, you're going to have a point about the games, I imagine.
Eventually.
Eventually. We're not, oh yeah, we're still talking about games.
Any more hardware points? Yes. Yes.
So PlayStation 2 looked like a piece of AV equipment. It could fit in your entertainment center and just kind of blend in. Nothing about the GameCube blended in.
Especially when they started introducing color iterations. You want some neon orange thing in your entertainment center?
Wow. No one had the silver. I wanted the silver so bad. No one ever had the silver. Anyone have the silver? Anyone here have the silver? Yeah? Okay, it existed. It was all
I
indigo.
only had purple and neon orange.
I wanted the black too. I only had indigo. It's the only one I ever have.
Yes.
A counterpoint to that is that even though, yes, it would have blended as well, but that also meant that the GameCube stood out as a fun console. When you looked at it, you identified it as a fun, system, a video game system specifically made for that. I feel like the whole blending in thing, if you mistake it for a DVD player, then that's all people are going to see it as a DVD player.
Yeah, the GameCube make you hungry. It looks like a lunchbox. Made me think about schoolyard lunches. Yeah.
Why has a handle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool. You know what? It was phrased, the GameCube player, the Game Boy player was phrased really oddly because Nintendo would sell you something to play more games, but the PS1, the PS2 would play PS1 and PS2 games for the same price.
It's true.
It's backwards.
That's built right in. That is true. That's a good
You
point.
play those 64 games on the GameCube.
Okay, I'm not changing it now, but I literally forgot. I was going to have everyone, like, sit on either side.
That's complicated.
That's complicated. Imagine you're all on one side or the other. It's more visual.
And then just imagine having
And
to, like,
easier for the
swap
battles.
sides
What's the
throughout
the
whole
wall
thing.
of death or whatever?
Concerts,
Yeah.
Like the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, and the X-Men cartoon intro, where everybody like runs at each other. We're doing that at the end.
GameCube controllers are still being made and supported for newer consoles even now.
That's true.
That's because the GameCube controller is awesome,
That's
and the
because-
PlayStation 2 controller is awesome.
It's because the Smash community, exclusively, all because of Smash Bros.
It is.
Melee, which I'm going to use as a point against the GameCube.
Yeah. Just the existence of Melee in the community.
All in good fun.
I personally have never been okay with the PlayStation with the two sticks on the bottom. That's not how hands work. It's not how hands work. You cannot handle it. They're not good. PS4 got it better,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but like, I don't know, the two. I don't like it. I like GameCube. It's the best feeling controller I've ever picked up. It's weird. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's the best feel.
Your game's designed
In this hand
button.
and this hand. It works. You just gotta kind of pin it. Anyway, who's next?
Yeah.
The GameCube controller, the X and Y feel gross to use, and it makes me mad.
You're gross.
What's with that X? What's with the X placement?
The X placement?
Yeah, did they do that on purpose? Make it the opposite?
Would you get out of here?
Put the X at the top of the controller instead of the bottom, like everything else. Actually, never
I-
mind.
which one is
SNES did
which?
That also.
I can't remember. I don't know.
Never mind.
Everything about it's weird. It's weird.
The GameCube controller is weird.
I love it. You know, honestly, I mostly just like the game. We were talking about this before. I like the GameCube controller mostly just for Smash, and that might even just be like where my mind, like it's just imprinted in my mind. Everything else I could do without, even though I love the GameCube controller. It's not like I'm not going to pretend like it's the best controller in the world. But compared to the PlayStation 2 controller, best one in the world.
Far left.
In terms of maximizing your picture quality at home, although Sony licensed component cables are affordable, to buy on like eBay, but GameCube official licensed component cables are like $300.
They're insane. I don't know why they didn't make more.
Insurrection Industries actually
Yeah,
just prototype.
Yeah, just recent.
What about before?
Yes, in the front.
Okay, so
with the GameCube, you can set up a LAN network and have 8 players, 8 different TVs, all on Double Dash. And that's why there's the handle.
Double dash A.
Speaking of games, let's move to games after like a few more points.
Yeah.
The PS2 controller is literally just the PS1 controller. The only difference is that the buttons are like pressure sensitive, which is the most useless feature ever conceived.
Mad Maestro. That's the one game I ever played that used that, and I couldn't do it. Could not make it work.
I mean, the GameCube controller had pressure-sensitive triggers.
Sure.
Also known as the worst triggers in the universe. It's people. Smash players have to mod their GameCube controllers to use the L and R buttons efficiently because you have to.
It's
your
like a
finger has to
mile.
move a mile.
It is. It's like a whole mile from here to here. I'll admit.
Like those 3 games that.
Boy, Luigi's Mansion. If you want to only suck a little bit, which you literally never do, but if you wanted to only blow a tiny bit of fire, that you have that option. Sunshine. Even then, why? Never.
Okay, GameCube's intro startup sound, most iconic in gaming, I would say.
Yes.
You guys are thinking about a lot of good
pretty
points.
memorable. What does PS2 have? Nothing but a super loud intro that wakes my parents up.
That's a good point right there.
The most important point.
Yeah. These are all important. These are good. These are all really good. How about someone like way in the back? Like way back there. Yeah.
The GameCube's not going to break if you drop it.
That Nintendium.
Yeah, you got it.
It's Nintendium.
Yeah.
Here's a good point. The acronyms: GCN, GameCube, Nintendo. PS2 is so much easier to say.
No. Okay, it's not a point against PS2, but PSX, where'd that come from? That's PlayStation 1. It's a petty point, but I'll make it. Even if it's actually kind of irrelevant.
Also way in the back.
The GameCube has a handle on it.
Always a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worth just bringing up.
I frequently wanted to just take it around the house, just carrying it around, fighting off burglars because it won't break, smashing flies and cockroaches.
That's all it's good for.
Yeah. Oh, really? Really?
I thought of something was the menus for like if you don't necessarily start up your game yet. The GameCube had a much easier menu buttons. There's even like my sister was more of a gamer than I was growing up, but I was able to figure out the GameCube menu and figure out something was wrong with it's not reading the disc right, this or that. Much easier on the GameCube than on the PlayStation, where it just pops up and it's just like, what's going on?
I don't think I can argue against that one.
I don't know.
The GameCube menu was super nice. It was a big cube.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Thank you.
All right, one more for hardware. Let's do back
So
left.
many.
The GameCube has alternate sound effects for boot up.
That's good too. That's another good one. Yeah.
Anything is better than wow.
This could honestly be a 5-hour panel. Any panel like this, like we could just talk forever. We haven't even touched games yet.
Well, that's what we're gonna do now.
All right. Oh,
So-
can I start?
Sure.
Pikmin. Yeah. That is my first point. That's a whole entire point I came up with. Pikmin.
Ultimately, as far as consoles go, it does most of the time come down to the games that are available. And this is where the PS2 really shines. For every GameCube
If you say
game,
so.
For every GameCube game, there's 6.8 PS2 games.
Quality over quantity. Explain that.
Well, I can't argue that Double Dash isn't the best racing game of the generation, but the other 9 of the top 10 are all PS2.
But when
If
you
were
have the best, you don't need those ones.
Stranded on an island, you can only play one console's library. I mean,
It's very large. It's very large. But did you consider Pikmin 2? 2 Pikmins in one system. And it's the best Pikmin. Fight me.
all right.
Yes. Completely aside from the quantity of games,
PlayStation games, especially first-party games, to go on sale at the greatest hits, PlayStation 1 and 2. Nintendo first-party games go on sale once a generation.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's much more affordable.
Good point. I do like saving money.
The GameCube has like 5 different Zelda games. You have Four Swords, Twilight Princess, the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask remaster, and Wind Waker.
That's a lot of
That's
Zelda.
a lot of Zeldas.
How many Zeldas does PlayStation have? 1/2 Dark Cloud? Well, there were 2, so it's 1.
The Dark Cloud marketing was hilarious if you go back there.
Zelda Killer? Every magazine.
It was the first game to have real-time cloth physics. That's cool.
I'll give you that.
6 out of 10, but it had cloth physics. But I mean, there are Zelda-like games. There's Drakengard 2, Ico.
I wouldn't call that a Zelda-like. Good game, though. Good game, though.
Yes.
GameCube had a Link and Soul Calibur 2.
But the PS2 had Hihachi.
Taihuchi? Whatchi? No one knows.
Well, Hihachi didn't need to use a sword. He's that much better.
It's getting too deep here.
Yeah.
If we're going to maybe bring the Zelda argument, there are a lot of GameCube games that still hold up extremely well today. Wind Waker, Kirby Air Rise, Super Mario Sunshine. There are a bunch of games that held up. Also, on top of a shout out to Colossus, because you like to mention that. While I have not personally played it, I've seen footage of that and the PS4 version. There's a reason why the PS4 version look that more, because you look at Shadow of the Colossus today, it runs like crap.
Yeah.
It's pretty slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those
true.
games that definitely deserved a remaster.
Yeah, for sure. It was ahead of its time. That's the soft way of saying it.
Back right. Yes, you.
Don't forget Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and Master Quest for GameCube.
If you had the other, there's like the 2 collectors one. You had the 1 collector. Yeah, that's good.
Also back right. Yes.
GameCube had
Oh.
3D Pokemon.
Couple of them, right?
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of turn-based RPGs on the PS2, though. Like
what?
Like the real Final Fantasies.
Final Fantasy. What are you
Dragon
talking about?
Quest.
What are you talking about?
Disgaea, Persona.
What? No one plays RPGs, right? Show of hands if you play RPGs. See no one. Too late.
Yes. Yes.
Although there was a larger library on the PS2, I don't recall how much shovelware on the GameCube.
There's a lot of PS2 games,
At least
and
it's not the
they.
Wii, but I mean.
Honestly, like I think it's one of the things that like I had a PS2, but I didn't really buy a lot of PS2 games. It's almost like there were just so many. I didn't even know what was good, and there was there were a lot of ones that didn't really look good. So like that wall was always just like, whereas like Nintendo, they've got just like the pop, the color, like the name, the name recognition, the Mario and the Zelda and stuff. So yeah, like that, you had to do a lot more digging for the PS2.
Does that mean it's for the real gamers?
Ooh.
All that hardcore early 2000s edgy marketing.
Yeah. They sure
this is
had
for
it
the
with that.
real game. We got Call of Duty 3. Because GameCube has the other 2, but we don't talk about that. It's back when Call of Duty was good because it wasn't popular.
It was kind of just a game.
Yeah?
It was just kind of a game series.
But I mean,
Things were
there's
different
Jack
back
and
then.
Daxter.
Yeah.
That's sort of brand recognition.
I
Ratchet and
never.
Clank.
I should have played those games.
So the PS2 had its, kitty,
It's
colorful
Sly
games.
Cooper.
Katamari.
Yeah.
You can't.
true.
Katamari would actually fit perfectly in the Nintendo universe.
Yeah. It should have just.
It should have just been a Nintendo game, honestly.
PlayStation's always been pretty good at having like at least some like quirky stuff. Like they're pretty good at that.
Katamari for Smash.
For real though, I feel like he'd be a really good assist trophy.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, and there go the fighters off the screen.
GameCube had not one but 2 world squadron games.
True. Those were good. Those were weirdly good.
I didn't play those.
They were better than they had any right to be. Brian can attest to that. The graphics were amazing.
far back left in the hat.
The GameCube at Fantasy Star Online with the big keyboard controller.
Oh
my god.
I forgot that existed.
Yeah. Hey, there's your JRPG right there. GameCube win.
Wasn't that an MMO?
Yeah, right?
Huh. Well, I mean, the PS2 had Final Fantasy XI MMO.
That's right.
And like super like pushed the MMO on console genre. If that's its own genre. Also back left. Yes, you.
PlayStation had a lot of trilogies like Sly, Ratchet, and Jack. Where was Pikmin 3?
I don't know, man.
See,
I
there was
don't
so
know.
much demand for the really good PlayStation games that they got several trilogies out. Where's the other 3D Mario?
Hey.
Right, there's no demand because it's the worst 3D Mario on
I could-
GameCube.
This is a whole other discussion for another day. This is next year.
Well, I need the flood to do the jumps for me.
Ignoring that. No, I'll complain. I complain up and down about Nintendo not making their games fast enough. I'll give that to Sony. I can't snap, but if I could, I'd be snapping to show you that they make the games. They just make them like Sly. Oh yeah, here's another. Here's another. I don't know. Like even now, Uncharted. Here's another. Here's like if we like it, just keep making them. Nintendo doesn't do that. They don't do that. Unless it's Mario, I guess.
Yes.
GameCube had Animal Crossing.
That's one of my points too. How did you know?
I'm actually not sure if I can think of any similar games on PS2. That's such a niche game.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah, The Sims.
At the time, it was very.
That's also on GameCube.
Was there Sims on GameCube?
Yeah, there's definitely Sims on GameCube.
A full Sims game?
Yeah.
Huh.
Sure, like Sims 2.
Interesting.
Also, even in my notes, I don't have a counter for Pikmin, by the way.
A Pikmin counter?
Yeah.
Like for
there's
how many times I say it?
Well, no, like, there's no, like, Pikmin's
Oh, a
super
counter to
unique.
Pikmin?
Yeah.
It is extremely unique. Hey, there's something you could say about a GameCube. Lots of very unique experiences.
Unique
Even
doesn't
if there are
always be
fewer.
good, though. I mean, look at Star Fox Adventures.
That's another panel. I have a weird soft spot for Star Fox Adventures. Anybody? Yeah? A handful of people? 5? Yeah, all right.
I saw it.
There's a Zelda game. That's another Zelda game. Star Fox Adventures. Yeah. It basically is. Yeah, it did.
You pick some people.
Oh, all right. Right in here? Yeah. Yeah.
GameCube has the last good Paper Mario.
It sure does. Well, okay, no, wait a minute. Super Paper Mario has merit. I will say it's the last full Paper Mario experience. Has it Paper Mario at all? I don't know, man. Where's the Paper Mario on the PlayStation?
Odin Sphere? It's 2D, and flat and super, but it's gorgeous. I don't think the GameCube could have handled it.
Well,
because of
never
reasons.
played it. I don't play bad games.
It's super good. But does it have Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3? I know it has a remake of 1, but I guess they figured...
Is that what the one on... It had a Metal Gear Solid game, right?
Yeah,
Which
it's
one
the
it was?
remake of 1.
The Twin Snakes?
Was 2 also 1? Well, did it have 3? Or the MMO?
Did the PlayStation have the game where it's like pinball that you yell at? Remember that one? Anybody?
All right.
You get a microphone and you yell at it and you play or something? Yeah? Yeah. It actually might have. I don't actually. It might have.
Similar in name. Does it have Okami? There's a Zelda game.
Yeah, there's a Zelda game. The Wii did, but the GameCube did not. No.
It's the Zelda game that the Zelda's games at the time wished they could be.
I couldn't get into Okami. I need to
A
try
lot of
again.
people can't get over the art style.
I
The
need- I just-
gameplay is like what Twilight Princess should have been.
There's an old man making me paint something, and I just couldn't, and I stopped.
A lot of hands now.
It's good. It's a good topic. How about her right down here?
Oh,
Ew! What's wrong with Chibi Robo? I never played it.
I haven't played it.
No, I mean either.
It's just an easy.
Yeah.
But first-person shooters at all.
We didn't need first-person shooters. We had complex, beautiful first-person adventures. Metroid Prime 1 and 2. We didn't need your gun shooters.
The only reason Metroid Prime was so
Civilized.
good was because it was designed around the fact that the GameCube controller is terrible.
And it was the best game ever, and go away. Consider that.
All right.
Any
middle
military
glasses.
shooters.
Yes.
PS2 had the improved version of Resident Evil 4. It had different ways.
There's actually a
did.
really good point about that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was telling me this is good.
Resident Evil 4 was originally developed as a GameCube exclusive, and then later Capcom
For about
realized
5
that
seconds.
Capcom realized GameCube games don't sell as well. The GameCube sucks.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they realized why. I can't even fault them.
So
Why would you?
So they ported it to the PS2, and while it was an improved version, the graphics were actually downgraded because the PS2 couldn't handle it. But when I was doing a little bit of research, I found so many forums of people saying that it still looked better on the PS2 because the downgraded textures were more muddled, and it made it a lot spookier. You're like, oh, that just proves Nintendo games are for babies because it's 2004 and we're all edgy.
It was an edgy time.
You should have seen all of the usernames. They all started and ended with X's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Other glasses person. Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft
And
Auto.
Bully and Red Dead Revolver, I think it was. Basically, all those kinds of games. Anyone that wanted like a mature and or super violent, because those are not the same thing, game, you couldn't get that on GameCube.
Well, again, we were more sophisticated folk. I don't know what to say. We didn't need to just shoot people.
Bing, bing, wahoo. Sophistication.
Yeah, absolutely. Complex games, like, I don't know.
Counter argument for Grand Theft Auto, Simpsons Hit and Run.
Ooh! Wasn't that more like Crazy Taxi, though?
No,
Was it not?
In between.
Yeah?
Thinking of Road Rage.
Is that it?
That's Simpsons Road Rage.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Wasn't that multiplayer?
It was.
Yep. They all
Yeah.
They're better.
It probably still looks better on the movie.
Luigi's Mansion. Anyone?
Any other horror game?
That was a scary game.
Eternal Darkness is pretty good.
Eternal Dark, that's a really good one. That's a really good one.
It's not Silent Hill, any of them, or Rule of Rose, though.
No. No, it wasn't. Not a lot of horror.
Are
You
there
got
any,
that one.
Can you think of any examples of like super hack and slashy beat 'em up games? Because the PS2 was filled to the brim with those.
Yeah, but it was.
I can't think of any first-party Nintendo ones.
Beautiful Joe?
I think that's a multiplayer.
I don't think multiplayer.
It was, yeah. I had it on my GameCube, and it was on PS2
No, I
as
mean,
well.
was it on PS2?
Beautiful Joe, yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
In the gray in the middle. Yes, you.
PS2 had fighting games. Street Fighter, Tekken,
I'll tell you about a little fighting game you might have heard of. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Fighting game designed to be a party game.
Yes. It's melee.
On the left. Yes, you. You.
Oh, Guitar Hero.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It started off on PlayStation 2.
It did. I give you that.
So like rhythm games. Although I guess I know this is against
I'm not
the
ruining
PS
this thing.
This is against the PS2, but DDR Mario Mix.
Ooh. Yeah.
Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga. I
But
played that
Tycho,
too much.
The Tycho games. Those are so cool. It's way better than the bongos.
Yeah, Donkey Konga. I worked at Game Crazy and spent a lot of time where I probably shouldn't have played Donkey Konga and REM songs. Donkey Konga.
Headphones. Yes. Yes.
Rockstar's best game is only on the PS2, and that's Bully.
Yeah. When's Bully 2 coming out?
Can you imagine that game coming out in today's climate?
It'd be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's why it hasn't.
Left glasses.
The GameCube version of Total Calibur 2 had like.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame. Was that not on
I
GameCube?
actually
either?
never played Fatal Frame, so I don't know much about it.
I didn't either. It looked good though. How about down here in the front, one of you two gentlemen?
Itaru Man.
Kitaru Man.
That is a hidden.
You traitor! That was one of the few games I had for my PlayStation 2. It was Guitar Man. Anyone?
I've actually been looking for it
Not
for a
really.
long
Someone
time.
right there? It's exceptional. It's the best rhythm game ever.
That's actually another point, because I think the PS2 has a lot more hidden gems than the GameCube.
Like I was saying, there's that giant library. There's probably
That's
a lot
probably why. There's like Mr. Mosquito is amazing. Has anyone played Mr. Mosquito here?
It's super good.
It's so good. And like the bouncer. I probably can find a list of hidden gems, but like I'm sure for every hidden gem on GameCube, there's 3 for PS2.
Probably. It's a losing battle.
Pac-Man shirt.
So PlayStation has had all of these like remakes and reboots of the franchise, like Okami got HD, this Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. A lot of those did popular and doing good in today's generation, like some of them on the Switch. Meanwhile, where's some of the good GameCube games on the Switch?
Right, Nintendo doesn't see the demand.
I have a whole video coming up about that real soon, and it's a long one. It's like 33 minutes long. You're looking for that.
They just don't see the demand because realistically there is no demand because the PS2 is just better.
That was a cheap shot. That didn't even make sense.
Sense doesn't matter in console wars. Have you seen the forums?
True. What's our time?
We got like 10 minutes?
Oh, okay, we're good. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
That's good. How about someone who's not had a point yet? Keep your hand up. Okay. Right. Okay. Brian first.
A bit on the hardware, if I recall correctly, but didn't the PS2 only have 2 controller ports?
Ooh.
2 controller ports. I mean, there was a multi-tap.
No one had it.
But also, speaking of that, Mario Party?
Pac-Man Fever.
Did GameCube have that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Just, know you and your friends all together.
It was a weird, like, PlayStation 1, okay, we get it. But PS2 not having 4 was just like, really?
I didn't quite understand it.
Really?
I had some amazing times for playing Mario Party, and I don't know what that, but yeah, other things, PS2, you and...
I'm sure only having 2 ports made the PS2 a lot cheaper, which is why it was cheaper at launch.
Maybe. Anyway, someone who said, Beard.
Hidden Gems are Lost Kingdoms 1 and 2 for GameCube.
Those are super good.
Never heard of them.
I'm actually, I just finished a script talking, I know I'm like a Pokemon channel, but I just finished a script about those games.
Really?
Because I'm talking about how like a Pokemon game with that game's mechanics would be super cool.
Very
So look forward to
relevant.
that. Any other points from people who haven't made points? Middle. Yes, you.
So the PlayStation 2 has some of the best 3D Castlevania games.
I haven't played any of them.
Are there any Castlevanias on GameCube?
I don't think there are. Are there? And there were like a ton on all the handhelds. They love the handhelds. But yeah, I don't know. Not much on GameCube.
That's a really
Good point. Yeah.
So PlayStation's equivalent of Pokemon would be like the Monster Hunter games.
I guess I could see that. Monster Rancher, yeah. I think Monster Rancher was a multi-platform, was it? No?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't remember that on Nintendo.
Speaking of which, also Monster Hunter. There's another one.
Yeah, I think we got that too.
Like you can name any like super good Nintendo exclusive, and I could name 3 PS2 exclusives.
We all know that, Mister.
That's easily like the biggest point to drive home. It's like, hey, you want to play this other super good game you never heard of, or do you want to play Mario Sunshine for the 14th time?
Are you really asking? Because I got an answer.
I'm about to cross my 3,000 hour mark in Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah. Do they keep track on that game? Because no.
Front far left.
PlayStation 2 has the Yakuza series from Sega.
That's a really good one.
They say those are good.
Again, are there any really good beat 'em ups on GameCube?
Probably not.
I guess
Sorry.
there's no Pikmin either, though.
You got that? Anyone? I just said you got that.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
PS2 NASCAR, so you can play games like DDR
GameCube had the one for the Mario though. Was it compatible with anything else though?
I think it was a regular controller port, not USB or anything.
Okay, like were there any other, like, there's not even, not it. Okay.
Was DJ Hero ever on this generation, or was that the next gen?
That was next gen.
Any other points from those who haven't made points? Let's do orange in the back. Yes, you. What was that?
Why kinda? I count it.
Yeah, I
At
count
least
it.
we're in America.
And you.
Say the PS2 has 5 games in every genre that you could say are good. And
Oh yeah.
GameCube doesn't.
I don't think there's any genre besides Pikmin, if that's its own genre, that you can't say the PS2 has more of.
Yeah, probably.
And more variety.
That's the numbers thing.
Yeah.
Party games that don't have 2 controllers.
That is true.
4-player party games.
GameCube has Fantasy Star Online, episode 2.
Hey.
Were there 2 on the GameCube, or was that just the 2 on the GameCube? I don't know enough about
I've
it.
never actually played those ones.
I don't know.
Speaking of which, the Sega Dreamcast games, they ported a ton of them to both systems, but I think most of them made it to PS2 exclusivity
Really?
instead of GameCube exclusivity.
Well, of course they did.
Of course they did, because it's the preferred system. They're still making PS2 games. Like, I think 2016 was the last PS2, the most recent PS2 game to come out.
Wow. Was it Just Dance?
I think it was
Or FIFA?
It was FIFA.
Of course it was FIFA.
It's that global market that's still playing it.
That's funny.
Anyway, we're running out of time now. So, final points are the PS2 is the best, and the GameCube is for babies.
For babbies?
For babbies.
For babbies?
I say as a Pokemon guy.
Well, as a full-grown adult who plays with puppets, I can say, here's the thing. It's all subjective. I cannot downplay all of the points that you make. I can't. I wish I could say the GameCube is objectively better. It all comes down to what you personally like. And those GameCube games connected with me. So
Ultimately, it is just that.
It is. I can't even say the GameCube is better. Sorry. Sorry, anyone on my side. For me, though, like those games, those like 10, 12 games that I like really played, like that was like, I don't know, the most influential, fun games I had ever played. Like that's why it's my favorite console.
Ultimately, at least we didn't have an Xbox.
Yeah. And if there's anyone in here, we'll find you.
That's all.
Is that all? Are we out of time?
I think so.
Yeah.
If you're interested in talking to us, we're just going to be out in the hall for
No, the
next-
autograph.
For the autograph.
Weren't you saying we get to just go over to the autograph room?
Do you
Maybe.
know?
I don't think it was on the schedule.
I know tomorrow we're doing.
Yeah,
that.
tomorrow we have another panel tomorrow, also at 3, and there was an official autograph signing. At that time, I don't know if we're allowed to just use the room now.
You two should be signing autographs from 4 to 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
be there, which I think is just the room next door.
It's just right.
Right over there. Cool.
Yeah,
Sort of
good.
over there if you want to talk.
100% of you. We'll see you over there.
Thanks so much. For
Wait, so who wins? We have to at least pick a winner. GameCube wins. GameCube wins.